All right, we are in the post show. Yeah, we can hang out. Yeah, let's jump over to the post show thing here. I'll pull you guys in. Pull over to the post show stream, just in case anybody else wants to jump in and bring violence upon the masses. Oh, what was this?
Sure. I'll start the post show with two things. First is apologies if I went too far in the show to Mark in the chat about the autism comments. I if it went if it crossed the line, that's on me. If you guys want to throw shit at me, that's on me for crossing that line. I thought I did not offend, but if I did, then go ahead. That's on me. I own it. That's my mistake. And the second thing I want to say is, as much shit as we give Josh, I do want to say that Josh does, in general, do a very good job. I think he's an above average community manager. Mostly the anchor is at Square Enix's communications, and whatever Josh like quote unquote messes up, the thing is like he's still got people hyped for the next stream for what could potentially be a GL first and all this stuff. So like nothing against Josh personally or anything. It's all about the job, the position, and the company. I just want those two disclaimers out there on the post show.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a violent mob with pitchforks. I mean, it's a mobile game, right? I mean, you only take it so seriously, but it is like y- 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 we like it. You want it to be good. Like, if I go to McDonald's and I get an Egg McMuffin, I want it to be good. I like Egg McMuffins. I think it's one of the better fast food items out there. Not a big fan of fast food, but I do think the Egg McMuffin's excellent. And so if I go and the Egg McMuffin's not great or something's wrong with it, it's not because I hate people and I'm not going to spit on people and throw on people. And I worked at McDonald's. I don't know if you have any stories, Mino, but I have literally been yelled at. I have literally been spit at. I have
Tons
been
of
hit.
stories. Me,
I have suffered great abuse working for every company where people were paying me for services, and I continue to do that. The problem is, sometimes we take it personally, and sometimes we don't know how to mitigate that very well or deal with that very well. I mean, Lord, social workers have to deal with it every day, and I mean, Arrow's taught or been with kids. You have to deal with all kinds of stuff. Like, you've ever been thrown up on and peed on and hit and screamed at. I mean, and so yeah, we're all human. We're all doing this, but we really, really, really. So we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be Karens, right? We don't want to be, just being garbage people. But we can say, I've spent $500. I'd have to look specifically. I've spent a lot of money on the game this year.
it can't be it.
You
I've
know,
done over 1,000 easy.
just this year or total?
Oh, this
No,
year.
I
Oh,
was just
total. I
talking
was
this
thinking
year.
total. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, we've spent thousands on the game. But I mean, over the course of several years. But yeah, I mean, if I was paying for, a $60 game or even $100 game, I would want the experience to be good. I'm paying, $40 a month, if not more, to this game. I want the experience to be good. And if the experience is not good, it's not that I got to be like violent about it or negative about it.
Yeah.
That's not negativity. That's just, listen, this isn't right. Tell me I'm wrong and it is right, or acknowledge it isn't right and do something about it. All right. So we're at 17. So last minute,
Yeah.
I'm going to do my free multi. Any other subs, gift subs, will help towards the total. The total is 17 at the moment, so we'll wait till this. So here's the free draw, gold orb.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Drew Zane. Drew Zane's
Yeah,
joined us.
Drew Sane, before I introduce Drew Sane that just hopped in, great segue, Mark. I wanted to piggyback off that really quick. One is I was gonna make that fast food analogy to something you said last week, and I'm glad you brought it up because I almost forgot. Mark was like, "Oh, I'm so passionate about my job." We were talking about devs and not fixing things until there's complaints, right? And Mark was like, "Oh, I'm so passionate about my job. I like doing my job, and I'm always thinking about my job off the clock." Well, Mark's a weirdo. But for most people, that's not the case. And I'm saying like the thing is, and I gave my example with the website thing, right? All the devs in chat back that up. But also I was saying even in the fast food industry, like I'm gonna keep spitting in people's burgers until somebody complains because otherwise, why not, right? Uh, unless somebody catches me and says stop spitting in the burgers, what incentive do people have to not spit in the burgers? And I'm sure all you fast food people know that. The other thing is Mark brought up Karens, and I wanted to say I respect the Karens of the world far more than I do these fucking corporate simps.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
like as somebody who works with customers, did I say past tense?
Yeah.
As somebody who works with customers, like I have more respect to the person who comes up and complains if their order was wrong or complains that they want to see a manager about a coupon or something. I have far more respect for these people than the people who say nothing and suck the corporation's dick. Like, I'm so sorry. Karen's rank way higher than these people who are saying, oh, well, who cares about Cottage? It's just one character nobody uses. Square Enix is great. I was hanging out in main court, what was it, yesterday? No, today, where Necklord was throwing a stink about Kadaj, and then Square Enix jumped in, and as soon as he said one fucking sentence, and that sentence was, "Oh, you shouldn't compare the GL and JP trailers because trailers are dev builds. That doesn't reflect the actual game state." That's all he said. Three sentences. And a bunch of people were like, "Oh, praise Square Enix, Joshua! Look at this great communication. He deigned to grace us with us peasants with his presence. Thank you so much, Josh, for taking time out of your busy day. You fucking cocksuckers. I respect Karens so much more than you guys. At least Karens have the balls to stand up for themselves and complain. You guys are fucking Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say some shit. But Drew Sane, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I was thinking about the uh, the troubles, I will say, and I put up a video on the my videos kind of thing, taking a little bit of a retrospective on what we talked about yesterday. I also wanted to talk a little bit about some other toxicity, because one of the things that is, Mina, you found out, or you found out about Josepher got a lot of help from me on, or rather, he featured me a lot on his should you poll, and that was news for me because he never consulted me. So I actually did, so no, I am getting to a point. I did talk to him, reached out to him, say, hey, thanks, I'm glad you liked it, and he said, yeah, it's difficult because there are a lot of people who will be really, really rude afterwards. So it's hard for him to find people who will not be toxic about the entire situation afterwards. So, I just wanted to say, like, this Kadaj thing is really important to deal with, to bring up and fix. I do think that don't be. I put in my video a little bit about like development because that's my original low wage job, and things can get. There's a lot of things going behind the curtains that you may not know about and you can't talk about. I think that the way Josh handled it was not very good, but I think that also there may be some frustrations that he would like to say.
Yeah, to reiterate, I don't know why this needs repeating so many times. I don't blame Josh. I 100% don't. I totally think it's the company policy that's holding him back. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. As someone who's been in his position,
Right.
like, I think we've all been in that position before. There is shit you can't say, right?
Yeah.
Like in my line of work.
Try working for Disney, right? I mean,
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah. In my line of work, there's so much confidential shit I'm not supposed to fucking talk about. And I get it, right? Like in politics, it's a huge divide between what you can say publicly and what is actually happening behind the scenes. I fucking get it. I don't blame Josh at all. I'm just saying, whenever we refer to Square Enix, that's the problem. This community is too wrapped up in Josh equals Square Enix.
Right.
We are always criticizing Square Enix as the company, the corporation. Like they have a policy, they have an approach. Josh is just a cog in the wheel, right? Like
Yeah, like
yeah,
there was something, and like I mentioned it on the ranting hour, but I think you probably like you kind of it went over your head because you were ranting on something else. But no, I was talking about
thanks for that.
the art. No, 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 no. I'm just saying that because you were the one who brought it up originally, and I didn't even think about it. The Godaj artifacts that say remnant, not rentum boost. That's kind of indicative that there's probably some staff changes, probably some things changed in the work. And I think part of what's going on is probably that he might be having trouble getting in contact. Like he probably had a really, really smooth contact line before, and some things have changed, and it's difficult to talk to the JP side of things, and it's kind of making him frustrated as well. Like that's kind of what I think is going on. But I don't know. I just think that he's probably not
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark, do you have anything to add to this before I yell at chat?
Why are you yelling at chat?
I think a lot of first-time viewers are like, "Hey, watch out about throwing all that hate out. It'll come around and all this stuff." I gotta remind them. I don't care. It's the same as people are like, "Oh, you guys should get sponsored by Square Enix."
Oh
That's
no,
that's not,
no, no, yeah. So
that's something I'm looking
let's
for. That's not something I'm fucking looking for, guys.
let's be older, wiser, more mature adults, or not. Um, it drives me a little crazy because I'm a sports fan. I'm not like a big sports guy. I'm a band drama debate team guy, right? Like I grew up in the arts and going to church and doing I didn't do a lot of sports stuff. So like I grew up in a comic book shop and church and in between that did a whole bunch of music. But I do enjoy sports and I do listen to sports radio and I love some teams. I love the Chicago Cubs. That's probably my biggest sports fandom, period. My family's big Cubs fans. Went up to a Cubs game not too long ago. Cubs suck right now. Blow. Just awful. When the Cubs are doing really well, we talk about how well they're doing. And hey, yeah, there's criticisms here and there, but it's all like, that's what you talk about. You talk, hey, they're doing great, wonderful. We're excited. Hey, did you see this buddy do this? Whatever, and you enjoy it. When they suck, you talk about, hey, why are they sucking? What's going on? What's going on behind the scenes? And that's how the radio goes. Like, that's what the podcast is. The podcast is news and talk. So if something sucks, we're going to talk about it. If something's great, we're going to talk about it. I started the show by saying, awesome, we get 20,000 free freaking gems. That's great. Thanks, Squex. And then we talked about this fixed Kadaj. Why? I wouldn't have talked about it at all, but hey, half a dozen content creators posted videos about it. That's what we talk about. And like, that's my job. And that's my idea behind the podcast. And that's why we keep talking about the game every week for 159 episodes. Every day on Discord, we keep talking about it. I mean, these are the things that keep us engaged with the game. If it was all good stuff like, oh, who's the next GL first of every month we're going to get an exclusive GL first or something, we'd be talking about that. Like, I want to talk about that. I would have rather spent an hour and a half talking about the next GL first instead of stupid Kadaj. Like, this is a no-brainer. This could have been done one in-game notice 6 weeks ago or a month ago or today, and then we would have said, okay, hey, thanks, Squex, good job. But yeah, the why are you defending a company? They don't
You're not
they
defending a
don't love
company.
you. You know, they don't love you. They want your money. You either give them your money or you don't. Like they don't. There's no loyalty. And as someone who values loyalty much more than I should, like it is a core value of who I am. I can't even help it. And it's done nothing but screw me over and over again because the vast majority of humans and companies are in it for themselves. We got 3 billionaires shooting dicks up into space right now. Has nothing to do with you and any of their wonderful employees, millions of people who work for these 3 assholes, but they're shooting giant penises into space because they don't care about you. They care about them. And Squex doesn't care about you. Maybe Joshua does because he's a human being, but he's got his own shit, right? Like, I don't know. But this isn't on Joshua. I want a good product. Squex has a product. I think it's a great product. I think it's a 9 out of 10. Literally, that's what's happening, right? And
Yeah.
I just want it to be great, and I want it to be better, and I want it to continue for a few more years because I'm excited about what's happening 8 months from now. Like that's ridiculous. Like in this game, I'm excited about BT Plus. I'm excited about Ultimate Weapons. I'm excited about the next difficulty and the next tier. I want it to be good. And I know it's a business, but that doesn't mean it can't be good, and that doesn't mean there can't be better communication, and there can't be a better symbiotic relationship between the consumer and the company.
Yeah, and as usual to cover Mark, it's always so funny when Mark gets violent because you never expected. He's supposed to be the level-headed one to allow me to go violent, so it's always funny when he does it himself, and I have to do quote unquote damage control. This isn't really damage control, but benefit of the doubt to the people in chat. I don't think they're attacking Square Enix. I think it was more at me and my inflammatory comments. All right, yeah. So if you wanna hate on me or if you have anything to take up against me, that's fine. That's my personal responsibility. And it's also like, here are a few things that I need to address in chat that was going on during the show that Mark might have missed. Re-sponsorships and watch where you're throwing hate and stuff. Here's the thing. TCC is a little different from other content creators because we're not trying to make it big as content creators. We all have pretty good jobs and lives, so we don't care about any money we make here. If you want to like boycott us or spread on main cord to not listen to us, I don't think that affects us in the least. Go ahead. I really don't give a shit. And if you're like, if you say this shit and Square Enix won't sponsor you, I don't give a shit either. Like, are you kidding me? Josh is pre-banned on our server because I don't want any fucking corporate meddling in our show, right? Like, Mark and I don't need any fucking money. We do plenty fine, and we have a lot of other hobbies and a lot of other interests. I'm not gonna suck Square Enix's dick for throwing like 5 keychains at us to give away.
They're just gonna shoot that dick up into space anyway. So
what are they gonna do? Like the only way, like we were talking about this on the server right before the show. Like, what's the maximum punishment for data mining? The worst they can do. First of all, if data mining was such a serious crime, compendium and database wouldn't have been allowed to be up for 5 fucking years. All right, guys. Like, if they really wanted to shut it down, if they really had power to shut it down, they would have shut it down already. All right. Mark knows. Josh has given us strongly worded messages about not leaking data mines. First of all, we're not data mining ourselves, so it's not as guilty as literally reading a Reddit post about the data mines. Literally every time there's a data mine, it's on all the servers. It's even on main cord. They put it on all the fucking websites. There's even a Reddit post about here are all the potencies and details about this unreleased character. We're not going to get in as nearly as much trouble for literally reading publicly available information. All right, we're not in Square Enix's pocket. And also, like, the worst they can fucking do is if they somehow find out our account numbers, because they can't track by account names. Names are interchangeable. That's why every time you submit a ticket, they ask for your account number. First of all, if they somehow find our account numbers, the worst they can do is prevent that account from spending money to buy gems and packages, which is a big whoop. Thank you. You cut off another supply of income.
Good, I
You
don't.
know, you
Good, I
really,
don't
you really
use it.
fucking, yeah,
Don't
you
use
really
it
fucking
for
taught
stuff in
me.
the game.
You really taught me to not let me give you money anymore. And you can literally make infinite amount of accounts that they can't track anyways to keep fucking playing. Like, what the fuck are they gonna, like, come on. So I mean, the difference between us and other content creators you're probably used to is that other content creators are trying to make a living off of their streams. They're trying to make it big. They're trying to make an income. No, we're grown ass men with real careers and lives. Like we don't need any of this shit. We literally started this podcast when there were 2 listeners a week and just shooting the shit and hanging out. The corporations have no fucking power over. Are you fucking kidding me? Like go shit on us on main court. I don't give a flying fuck. I hardly read. I'm not like other content creators. I don't read these fucking comments in chat or on the video and like cry for days about someone insulting me or something. I could not care less about what minimum age monkeys on the internet are talking about. So go for it. Give me your worst. What are you gonna do? Fucking DDoS me? It's fucking whatever, man. But back to you, Mark. Jesus Christ.
I missed all of that. Yeah, like somebody's gonna like we literally there's a dude just to go. I mean, like Mino said, 100%. We started this. Pierre and I started this version of the podcast, right? When just as an opportunity for 2 people to talk about the game every week. I mean that's the idea. It's just we're hanging out, you and your friends hanging out talking defo. That's what we're about. Yeah, and so I remember this was after Mino joined. Somebody I forget who it was. Was it Porum or was it somebody else? I don't know. Oh, Alize maybe.
Yeah,
Mino went off about how Alize sucked, and she was not good that first iteration. And so, like somebody like they went on main court and Reddit, like it was going to be their job to just destroy us, and that was like episode 30.
Firestar. I think his name was Firestar.
Yeah, Fire
TCC is my mortal enemy. It is my mission to destroy.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I come on once a week to talk for 2 hours. That is it. Nothing else fucking concerns me at all. Holy shit.
Yeah, and like we're not the biggest at all content creators. We're not like I post, we do 1 show a week. Maybe I do a couple other videos during the week. Arrow's starting to take off. Might want to disassociate with us, I guess, after tonight.
No, I'm good. I'm dying to read. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, this is fun. This is fun, and we're when we complain about things we love. And we joke about things we love. We don't take it seriously, and we get violently passionate about things we love, and we laugh about things we love. And I mean, this is just part of the human experience. So I mean, yeah, and guess what? I don't have a Disgaea RPG podcast because I don't freaking care.
Yes,
I
thank you,
play
Mark.
it. I play it every day. It's not great.
You
There's
still
some
do?
things.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's yeah, no, but I mean, not like it's kind of a second game if I'm bored and I have a few minutes and I need to do something to while I'm waiting in line. It's a good game to throw on and do some playing with. But yeah, I mean, I'm not passionate about. That's why we're not doing like I'm not kind of content creator who's going to do a whole bunch of other content for a whole bunch of other games because I don't freaking care, because I may try them out and hey, if one of them hits, great, then we'll talk. But what happened to Guitar Girl? I played that for a while. Guitar Girl was
Still
fun.
play it.
Yeah, so
Not really,
yeah,
kind
did
of.
she know?
No.
Right now I'm just playing Disgaea and Defoe and 14. And I do have Genshin on those off days.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up, Mark, and thank you, Retnab and Dukesy, for saying in chat. I wanted to bring that up. I didn't say it. Is the thing is, you're right. We complain because we care. If we super didn't care, we would leave. There are plenty of games or products I bought or played. If I didn't like it, I was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. Right? And the only reason we are so hardcore embedded into the gaming community and we're still complaining is because we believe there's a chance for change. Right? If we're proven wrong, we will eventually leave, just like Pierre and Mark left FFRK.
Yeah.
Right? Like things come to an end. You shouldn't be loyal to a thing forever. So if like Tonberry Troupe or Call to Arms or Macnol, if they ever get tired of this shit, if Scott Ong somehow burns out on like 30 runs per event somehow for some reason,
it's hard.
and he
It's
leaves,
hard to imagine he would going at that.
yeah, right. Yeah. But if they somehow leave because they're tired of the game, no ill will. That's human nature. That's life. No one should be doing anything for so fucking long, right? Like, that's why we hold so many different jobs in our lives, and that's why monogamy is a lie. Okay, don't before. Just kidding.
Well,
But
that's just random.
no, that was related. Drew saying that was a very good segue. How
Well,
dare you?
it's not related anymore.
Before I throw it back to you, the thing I was saying is, no, yeah, it's perfectly okay to move on. We complain because we care, because we think there will be a change, and if there is that change, we'll stay even longer. And the thing is, like Mark and I and a bunch of others, we regularly pay money into this because we believe in the product, right? And if there was a better product, we would just fucking move on. But because we're like, oh man, I like the FFOO, we still sing its praises regularly.
We do try. We do try. I keep playing other mobile games. You know, like it's not for lack of trying. It's not like I'm never going to play another mobile game. This mobile game, and I have made a covenant, and I wear a mobile game covenant ring, and no, that like I tried download. I'm going to download the Nier game here next week. And I got like 2 other games that are like I pre-register for every game. I'm pre-registered, by the way. But
it's crazy. I'm not like that. Yeah,
but yeah. So like, believe me, if I find the game that has dethroned Defoe, and I don't even talk about games near, far, no, near reincarnate, whatever. The Nier game with the guy with the. It's a mobile game for the Nier. Isn't that how you say the game? With the robot girls, right? That's I'm saying the right word, right? Nier. That's how you say it.
That is correct.
Yeah. There's a mobile game, near, far, wherever you are. Yeah, thank you, Zerathi. There's a mobile game coming. I pre-registered for like a year ago. It's coming out this week. Nier Reincarnation. Thank you, FitX. Yeah, when's the Nier? But see, I won't even talk about it until I've been playing the game a month or two, right? Because those first few weeks, first couple of months, it's not a good feel for how the life of the game's going to go. Sometimes you can download a mobile game and you find out real quick, like, oh yeah, no, this is crap. And that's why I understand as a mobile game content creator, you're gonna try to get the hype, get the views, but it's diminishing returns. Like, you're gonna get views real quick, but most games are just going to fizzle out. Like I said, I can play Disgaea casually enough. Like, finally, a banner came out that I wanted to pull on. I hadn't pulled on banners for like a couple months. And so finally, a character came out that I can fit on my one team that I've been trying to build. And so I pulled and I got it like in 3 pulls. And so now I still have tons of resources. But so now I got to work on that character, and that's going to take a year to build that character up because that's how dumb the game is. But, that's fine because it's not like, again, I'm not like passionate about it. I'm not like, I got to get all the content and I got to play it and grind everything. No, I don't care. I just kind of play as much as I want to play. So. Yeah.
Mark, I lost my train of thought. Mark, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, right. We complain because we care.
Yes.
Right. And then Drew saying, sorry, I'm going to throw it to you. We haven't heard from you in a fucking long time. But something, complain because we care.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! God damn it, Mark. Holy shit, I forgot my... Well, the point is we complain because we care.
I gotta admit, I don't feel like much of a complaining mood. I just got done with vacation. I found this whole Kadaj scenario wild to come back to. I thought it was just going to be a normal podcast week, guys. It's never a normal podcast week lately, is it? It feels like there's just been something wild every week lately. And
No.
I think it's interesting, but man, I don't know what to make of it. But personally, I'm in vacation mode. I am like the most chill person right now. Like, I don't know. It was wonderful. Stepping away from everything, when you do that sometimes, like you come back with like this totally different perspective on the situation. But what I will say is I really hope something is addressed about the whole thing, because they got to stream this coming Monday, and I can't wait to see the whole stream just blow up about fixed Kadaj memes. I mean, like, that's kind of a downer, isn't it? Aren't they supposed to be hyping up the new thing, not talking about things that have already been done and should have been addressed? I'm just looking at it from a PR perspective. Can't look good, you know?
No.
Drew Zane, please talk before we interrupt you again.
Well, actually, no, it was the fact that Mina was trying to get something from me, but I don't know what you were saying.
Oh, I remember now, and then I'll throw it to you because I just saw it in chat. Thank you, I forgot. Final Asim says, so with this whole Kadaj debacle, will you and Mark spend less money on the game? Here's the thing. This already happened once with Lion EX. As Arrow said, this has already happened before. Once is a coincidence. Twice is possibly a pattern. And that's why I've been raising such a fucking fit about the Kadaj thing, because I'm like, I'm not letting this be another fucking Lion thing.
Yeah.
And then if we let that go, it's only gonna snowball. So yes, when Lion already happened. It was the first case. I was like, could be a one-off. Didn't change anything. Kadaj is a second time. And now I'm already like, okay, now I'm debating whether I do want to spend money. Now I don't want to get the fucking high armor tokens.
Yeah.
For the pay, personally, I'm like, no, this tipped the edge. I don't want to get the fucking high armor tokens. And I'm debating even getting the whale pass anymore because I don't need it, right? Mark and I don't need these resources. We do this shit for fun. Like, we don't need these resources to clear content. Mark and I both have 2 million gems, and we never have to fucking buy gems again, ever. Drew Sane has 2 million gems too, I think. And so we spend because we like the game and the company. Now I'm kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to reduce my amount of spending to see where this goes. If they fix it, sure, I'm going to go back to fucking buying every fucking costume. Mark buys every fucking weapon thing. If they don't, I'm going to be like, okay, probably time to stop giving them my money. Yeah. I'm not satisfied with the product anymore. I would rather spend this money on a Brazzers subscription or something like that, right? Or yeah, so like, yeah, no, like this is the second time it's happened, so I'm personally reconsidering already. But Drew, saying you had something to say?
So okay, so now that I understand what you're trying to address to me, and with Final ASOM, the point is that I do think that the discussion has gone a little too like I said, for Joe didn't come to me because like he's afraid people are gonna attack, like I might have attacked him if he talked to me.
Is that what he said? When you talked to him?
No, that's not exactly what he said, but he did talk to the point that it's difficult for him to find to talk to people who he doesn't know because he has a past of people treating him poorly after he talks to them. So what I was trying to get to that point, what I was trying to get out of that point is that for the Josh thing as well, like we are enjoying the game. We want to give constructive criticism, but like and this is a Final Fantasy community, and I think some people in the Final Fantasy community are not quite mature enough to handle stuff like, for example, you were saying, you don't belong to a company, but there's always the defense force. What I'm trying to say is, just make sure that we're not doing personal attacks. Make sure we're not personally attacking Josh, personally not attacking other stuff. 40 had personal attacks, and that really hit him hard. If you have constructive criticism, that's good. I think that what's happened today requires a little bit of constructive criticism, but just make sure that it's just criticism, and
That's
let
kind
it
of
behind
you.
that.
That's kind of you, Drew, saying, I don't know what you do for a living, but that's kind of you. And I'm going to throw it to Mark because I know Mark and I have been super fucking insulted to our faces, but we still have to do our job.
Yes.
Mark, you have so many stories. This is it's one thing. Joe and Broadway are doing this as a hobby / potential career. Josh is getting paid a salary for this. I'm sure a lot of us have been in that fucking position before. Mark is a fucking reverend, dude. He gets all kinds of fucking shit in his face. I'm sure that doesn't
I
change how he does his job.
yeah, no, so right. So like I am not I would never advocate that anyone needs to take abuse, right? Like in your life, in your relationships, I don't think you should take abuse, whether it's physical, certainly not physical, emotional, whatever, verbal. I don't think you should take that. Um, I worked for a company where the customer was always right. And so I did take abuse, physical and verbal, and was expected to deal with it. Now, my current position and vocation is a little different. And so I come from it, and so I'm not saying like that's right. Like yeah, you're making $5 a night or whatever, $3 an hour minimum wage was at that point in life, and you should be okay getting spit at. No, that's bullshit. That's not right. No one should be treated like that. I don't think you should treat people like that. Period. But like in my profession, I deal with people and I deal with relationships every single day. And I have had people over the last 15 years like come at me. I have been called all kinds of things. I have been physically come at. Now that doesn't usually happen because I'm a fairly large man, so that doesn't happen. Many of my female colleagues have had that happen to them. Very scary stuff. But, I've had people scream at me. I've had people call me all kinds of things. My favorite is false prophet. I've been called false prophet on many, many occasions. And how I have to deal with that is in my position is not to take abuse, but to be compassionate, to help understand what this person is going through, and help mitigate conflictual situations, because one bully or one abusive, my wife and I were just talking about this today actually in the car, especially in churches, one bully, especially in smaller churches, one bully, one loud asshole can ruin a wonderful thing for everybody. Because no one's able to stand up for them and help mitigate how real conflict happens. And one conflictual situation, like, oh, we want new carpet. Well, should it be blue? Should it be gray? Like, and that can turn into this whole conflict. And we have bigger conflicts, obviously, in organizations and everything else. And so learning how to mitigate those, learning how to grow through those, and learning how to react to people in an appropriate way that is kind of PR, right? That you certainly, if I have somebody who's taken shit, I'm going to stand up for them. So if I was Square X, I would always back my community managers, right? Like that's how I work. Like I'm always going to back my volunteers. I'm going to back my staff. I'm going to back for the people for work for me. I have their backs. That's who I am.
But the people who pay your check.
Yeah, but I also I also make sure that I am very clear in my reactions when I'm dealing with people, interpersonal stuff, that I am understanding the broader scope. and I don't run my mouth off on emails or social. I very rarely email anything of substance. I never text anything of substance. I don't usually have phone calls. Like if we're talking about something serious, we talk together, we talk one-on-one, we talk face-to-face. And so, when you have a job like Josh's job, community manager online, man, it could be so and I get it as a pastor too. It's real tempting to run off, run off an email or and create all kinds of problems that shouldn't exist, create all kinds of drama that shouldn't exist, or even have that back. So there's a part of it. Yeah, you don't need to take abuse, and I don't think anyone's offering abuse, right? I don't think anybody's abusing Squex or Joshua right now. I'm not seeing that. If that's happening, let me know, but I'm not seeing that. But sometimes companies get way too defensive and angry, and talk about Star Wars for a second, get away from Final Fantasy. When you had Star Wars creatives, so people who were working for Lucasfilms, talking about like drinking fan tears and just asshole
really
stuff.
happened?
Yeah,
They really happen?
yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah, no, like just asshole stuff. Like that's just not how you treat your fan base. Because again, I'm talking I'm not talking about customers. I don't have customers. I have a group of people who are supposed to be working together on a common goal. So basically in the church, everybody is an employee, right? Like we are all working together. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, if we're selling a product, which we don't, but if we were, right, you want your customer base to be happy. You want them to enjoy what you do. You want them to have, good experiences. And so the successful companies are companies that have created that. And so, when your company is down on your fan base or not communicating well, or your community manager pops off, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Yeah.
So.
Drew saying, I want to throw it back to you because I am a little curious, but in lines of work, in my career, in and out, I've done stints in the sheriff's department and also the foster child's department,
God.
and both is such an extreme dealing with the public as either cops or social workers. And the general attitude is if you can't deal with that shit, you shouldn't be getting paid for that shit. Like, can you imagine being
That's
a cop
correct.
or a social worker and being like, oh, well, they're trying to do their job. Please don't insult them personally. They don't make them want to do their job less. No, what the fuck, man? This is a community manager for a fucking mobile game. This is not that serious. Arrow wants to talk about taking a step back and looking at more serious shit. I've seen way more serious shit, which is why I'm not fazed by asshole randos online, right? Like, there's a very, hard line of there's a lot of opinions that don't matter. And I know I've talked to Josh about this before, and I know it's like not every complaint is valid. All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a valid voice. You're not all fucking, Rhodes scholars with genius, because sometimes people are just bitching to bitch. And the thing is, look, if you're a cop or a social worker, it's your fucking job to deal with the worst shit in this world and to take it. And that's what you're getting paid for. Otherwise, go to another field. But sorry, Drew Sane, you had something to say.
I would just say that, yes. And there, I've been in situations where, there's been great community managers where, people 20 years later are still friends with the community managers because they are exceptional and great people. But there's some situations where, you might run into a situation where there could be harm to the company, as in I have information on the company, and because of what happened, I'm this close to letting sensitive information out. That sort of thing. That's something where we should probably take a little breather on. But yes, otherwise, I understand completely what you're talking about. That we should not we don't have to take too much from, like, this is a trivial game. This is just trivial. This doesn't really affect your life really. It affects them much more than you. You can quit, they can't really.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, like, there's a few things that people are saying that's a little dangerous. So I just saying that people should cool down a little bit and then come back and spam fix Gadaj in the community.
That's too level to take, Drusane. That's too level headed. Mark, have you ever gotten death threats?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten plenty of death threats in my real life work. Are you guys kidding? You guys are fucking throwing a fit over. You guys are throwing a fit over theoretical death threats to Josh.
Have you ever had DCFS called on you? Yep, sure have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys fucking serious? Amons is over here saying that's such a shitty mentality. Amons, you minimum wage monkey. You probably have never been in a position where you're regularly like a lot of people will fucking throw death threats and mean guys. I don't know what kind of sheltered lives you guys are living, but dude, Mark and I, we've seen that shit on a regular basis. Are you fucking kidding me?
Have you ever had a gun pulled on you?
Are you fucking serious? Come on.
Different.
Maybe maybe I am ridiculous. Like, I'm.
No. You're saying I'm not criticizing you specifically. That was mostly towards Amons and the people freaking out over a theoretical internet death threat that Josh got, which he confirmed there was none. Like, are you guys fucking serious? What kind of lives do you guys live that you guys don't fucking deal with this shit? Like, so many death threats are bullshit, and the swatting. Come on, I'm not trivializing it, but you guys are fucking babbies. But Drew, what were you gonna try to say?
Oh no. Is that what you thought? No, that's not what I meant by insensitive information. I was talking about other sensitive information. But yeah, no. I think we're on the same level here. And maybe I am taking it too seriously. It's just trivial.
Well, I've been in the city. Today's my day off. I've been in the city with my family, having a nice time. So I've not been on my phone. I've not been on the internet. I've not been on Facebook and Twitter and Discord besides our own Discord. And I really haven't even been following general chat very much. So I don't know what's happening, like, in main court. I don't know what's happening on Reddit. I don't know what's happening on Twitter or Facebook. All I know is, there's been 4 or 5 videos with content creators. Most of them are just funny. I mean, Caden's thing was just informative. I mean, Caden's thing was literally like, hey, here's this character who works this way, and here's this character that works the other way. What's going on? And then, RVK and Indolent Lard kind of posted some funny stuff, and Black Nero and Crispy kind of gave their takes, and I know Necklord was doing some stuff, but and so I mean that's just awareness in my mind, raising awareness. Here's an issue. There wasn't any quote unquote call to arms. There wasn't any let's get pitchforks and go raise up. Let's make crash the Squex stream. Let's everybody ping Joshua. I haven't heard that. Maybe that's going on. But it's that, hey, we've been talking about this. We've not heard anything back for you. We know that there is, you said there's a bug for Cypher and that got fixed. So obviously you know how to fix things, and obviously you know when things are not working. So what's going on? And so it's kind of raising awareness. So raising awareness is great in every form of life. And I don't see... There's a way to do that that's good. There's a way to do that that can be aggressive, and that's okay. To fight to get what you want, that's okay. You don't have to be an asshole about it. But sometimes you got to be an asshole about it. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's how we got the notification we got today. I'm sure.
Yeah, Drew saying, like, if you want to bring it up, like, they literally said a lot of things have changed because of overwhelming feedback. 6-man co-ops, cursed artifacts, thank you. The fucking split ass characters like Lisa and Ida and Pestle and Dessel, thank you for that. Why make a team building game when characters lock each other out? That's fucking stupid. A lot of things change with the feedback. Like, I mean, what kind of lives do you lead where you don't want to take any fucking feedback on how you're doing on your job? Like, I don't fucking understand.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a shitty way to express himself, and I hope that's. So, I hope he doesn't bring that to the community stream. That's all I would say.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Jovial Roger says swatting is actually pretty serious. Few people have died from it since our cops are garbage. As somebody who's worked in the sheriff's department, that is true. Yes, cops are garbage, and swatting is very serious. You're right. So if I trivialize that, I apologize for that. Yeah. So yeah. No.
They stopped doing updated versions of characters due to feedback. Yeah. We said we're not really fans of you making new characters. Don't do that anymore. Good job, us. Good job. You can thank us for that.
I used to be a guest on a Civilization podcast, and
I hate Civilization, Drew. Saying, let me take my anger out on you.
It's fine, whatever. But they've been like they're on their almost 400th episode podcast at this point, and they don't always like. You would think that they hate Civilization, despite the fact that they've been doing that podcast for I don't know. Jesus, it's got to be almost like 20 years at this point. But like they have the kind of criticism that we're having now. They also had a lot of criticism, but it comes with a lot of, like you said, it's because we love the game, and if they do something that's ridiculous or just not really reasonable, we're gonna call it out. And you should, because that's the only way you change things. You are correct exactly on that.
Yeah, no, seriously. Why are people acting like criticism is such a bad thing? Like, holy fuck. When did we become that kind of culture? Or has it always been like that, and I just didn't mingle among the unwashed masses enough?
Well, it is interesting because you don't hear it in sports too much. So I mean, if you're listening to if you're listening to the sports radio, every once in a while. So let's say right now here in Chicago. So Chicago has two baseball teams, White Sox and the Cubs, and Major League Baseball teams. We have lots of other minor league baseball teams, but Cubs are crap right now. White Sox are doing really good. White Sox could win the World Series. Their manager, Tony La Russa, World Series winning manager, Hall of Fame manager. The guy is in the Hall of Fame. He's not retired. He's currently a coach in the Hall of Fame. He came out of retirement to do the White Sox, right? The guy's a dinosaur when it comes to how you coach a team, right? And so he's said all kinds of dumb things and he's done all kinds of dumb things. And so people call and rag on him all the time. The team's great. And the team has continued to be great despite his weirdness. Even though, I mean, he is a great manager, but he's just kind of past his prime, I think, or just a little bit. But there's always like that. So the majority of people are on the same page. Yeah, Tony, shut up and make the roster, go about your business, or why the hell do we have to listen to him? Why did he come back? I know he's a friend of what's his name, the owner, but come on. But there's always that one dude. It's like, why are you guys picking on Tony? He's doing a good job. They're in first place. Come on, guys. And
there's always a defense force.
That's how we talk in Chicago. But if you didn't know, that's how we talk. But yeah, so I mean, there is always that guy, and it's the same. I mean, it's a lot more divisive in like Star Wars, and that's why I'm kind of disengaged from the Star Wars fandom right now. And just enjoying Star Wars the way I'm in, because Star Wars fans are just aggressive, like attack each other. Like if anything, like, the idea that there's a few of us attacking a few of us in DissidiaFFOO is stupid, right? We should all be we all want this game to be good. We all like the game. We should all be on the same page. That's why we do things like this. You build a community, you get together. We don't have to like each other, but we all have a same common goal. Star Wars fandom is toxic against each other on a regular basis because there's different generations of fandom, and I don't know how much that plays into Final Fantasy really yet. But there's just
Final
stringent
Fantasy's
holdouts.
old, right? It's been 35 years.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
mean,
I don't see it. I don't see. I don't see the deviation in Final Fantasy fandom from like, well, I play Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Versus
I see it, Mark.
you know.
Mark, I see it. You've got your old weebs like Inkwelder who don't like any characters after FF6, right?
Yeah, okay,
And then you got your young weebs like shit. I know there are a few out there who only like 13 and up.
Do you want to just do the he's Eamon?
No,
'Cause he's
Eamon
the
likes
youngest guy I know.
FF4.
Yeah, he
some
likes
dumb shit.
FF4. Yeah, he's a big FF4 fan.
Well, there is, for example, the new community guest host. I don't know what she is, but she said that she's only played Final Fantasy
Crystal,
15.
right?
She
Crystal.
Yeah.
My future wife.
With a K.
Yeah. And she
How come
said
no
she's
one's
only
yelling at Crystal? Why are you all yelling at Josh?
Well,
Crystal's a community manager too.
we love Crystal.
Yell at her.
No, we love Crystal.
Yeah, that's it. So she
Crystal's
said that
never said anything that I don't like.
No, my God, can I get my sentence?
No.
That she's only played
Go
Final
for it.
Fantasy 15. So there are generations where it's like, I don't know, I kind of know about Final Fantasy. I've only played 7 and 8, or I've only played 15 because that's the most recent one. So you get situations where it's like, Crystal Chronicles is my favorite one. It's like, I'm sorry, what? Who the fuck is Kieran? So yeah, you do have quite a lot of things, and the Star Wars community is not quite as, is much more toxic, but it's just when you have a lot of situations where the games are way more different, then you start getting conflict. Like some games are really different from each other. So like we don't. A lot of us, like you and the rest of us, are kind of numb to the whole. This is the best Final Fantasy because like people have been fucking doing this for 20 years. Are like, this is the best one, and you don't like, if you don't like this one, then you're wrong and stupid. But so you get numb to that. But for Star Wars, the Star Wars well, I guess prequels have been around for a while, but the sequels, that's still fresh.
Yeah,
that's still fresh. I'm not 20.
No, Eamon is 20.
Oh, okay, whatever. Whatever.
True saying, this is why I disagree with your take.
Okay.
Is because
all right.
Final Fantasy is basically anime Star Wars, so I'm sure the community is just as toxic. I'm pretty sure the community is just as toxic. This is just Final Fantasy. This is just Star Wars for weebs.
That is true. However,
well, I see, at least in Star Wars, I see the cutoffs a lot clearer, I guess, where you have your original trilogy fans and anything that came out after original trilogy is garbage. And then you have your expanded universe fans, and the fact that Disney killed the expanded universe is the devil, and anything that's not expanded universe is awful. And then you have the kids who are in their 20s and 30s who grew up with the prequels, and the prequels are good and underrated and we should like them. And then you have the new fans and the kids who grew up with Clone Wars cartoon. Now you have new fans, and so there gets to be there are like groups, and maybe that exists too, but I don't see that as much in Final Fantasy, although there is some of that. This game is good. Let me put it this way: having lived through all of the Final Fantasy games, just like when new Star Wars movies comes out, yes, there's always people who basically say, oh, this Final Fantasy sucks, or oh, this one's really good. And so that does happen every time a new game comes out, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't it more like FF7? Why is this not FF7 again?
Right.
Eamon's saying, like, is 20 really that young? Holy fuck. Eamon, you can't even be trusted with alcohol. They won't let you rent a car. You can't co-sign a lease. They don't trust you with anything that matters in society. Like, what privileges do you really have? Like, to be able to legally fuck people? Like, you're not an adult.
Can't vote till you're 21. Oh no, you can vote till when you're 18, can't you?
Yes, you can vote when you're 18.
Can't
you
have
can smoke
alcohol.
A cigarette.
Can't have
There you
alcohol.
go.
I mean, you can't get into a conversation
Oh yeah, you
with a
can't
bunch
get
of old
smokes
farts.
anymore. I don't know if it's
Oh,
federal now, but at least in California,
they
no
did in
more,
Georgia too. I forgot. Oh my God, you used to be able to smoke when you're 18. Now you can't even do that legally.
Yeah, they raised that. They raised that nationally because cigarettes are shit.
Army. Well, yeah, we need young, stupid people in the army. So
we're
never going to change
anymore.
that.
Like,
never going to change
go
that.
Hand in hand.
Don't go to a podcast with a bunch of old people and then be like, why is 20 not young or whatever?
What? Black
guys,
Nero.
I'm gonna head off.
Thanks, Arrow.
It's actually pretty late for me.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you much. We'll see you later.
It is.
You guys, it was great. I'm glad to be back. So have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
You too, Arrow. Everybody say bye to Arrow.
Later. Bye.
Black.
Mark, before you continue, Eamon, you can't even size up a fucking opponent in Dragon Ball Fighters. Everyone check the fucking archives. He got his ass whooped. I don't know what you're fucking Eamon.
Dude, his controller wasn't working. Come on. Black Cloud said something, Black Nero on YouTube. I had a few weeks ago, maybe last month, about realizing as he got a little bit older, how dumb he was, or how much he had to learn right when he was younger. And the joke about that is that's like life always, right? Like I look back and say, man, right? Like I wouldn't even joke about like when I was a teenager or something, but right, when I was a teenager, I thought I knew everything, and then I, got into my early 20s, and I thought I knew everything, and then I started, I was 24 when I was appointed to my first church by myself, kind of working full-time in my vocation. Lord, I didn't know anything then. But yeah, and then you're like, oh, wow, you're always, so yeah, 20's young. That being said, there are people who are 80 and not real, wise in the ways of the world. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, ideally, as a human being, you're always growing. You're always moving forward. Not everybody, most people, in my experience, a lot of people kind of plateau. They get maybe comfortable, or they get into their routine, and they just kind of stay there. My hope is, there's always forward momentum. There's always personal growth, whether it's wisdom or knowledge or experience, or, whether it's emotional or spiritual or physical, there's always somewhere. We call coasting. Just going to coast. Just going to coast. That seems intentional to me. Like I'm going to coast. Well, yeah, we all have our things. So, no, 20 is Babby. 20 is Babby. Yeah, 20 is. 20
Why is
young.
everyone saying Babby?
Babby.
Are you guys making fun of my speech
Babby.
impediment? Like when did this start catching on? I can't.
No, it's memes. It's memes, Mino. Have you ever heard of memes before?
I don't believe you.
Okay. So yeah, if I saw a 20-year-old girl walking down the street, like walking in Michigan Avenue, like because I was in Chicago today, I would think, oh hey, there's a child. Yes, that's 100%. Like, oh look there's a group of children. Yeah, I mean, I don't like anybody under 40. At this point, maybe anybody under 30 is a young person. Yeah, for me at this point, young person.
Yeah.
And I always work with. Listen, I realized young in my profession, like I will always be working with people in my profession who are not only slightly older than me. Like in a lot of your professions, I don't know what you all do work, but most humans work within a group of peers within a small age group, right? I work with actual babies until you die. That's my job. My job is from birth to death. And so if I retire at 65, God willing, I'm still going to work with people who are 40 years older than me or older. So like, at some point you're like, oh, I'm always going to be the young guy to somebody, and that's okay. Imagine retire. Yeah, that's why, God willing, Zerathy.
I did the math. I'm not retiring till I'm minimum age 67. That's millennial life.
Yeah.
Did the math.
I'm not a millennial, so I get to retire a little early, hopefully.
You son of a bitch.
There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees at all. But I was just saying, if I retired at 65,
Mark, you get a pension like me. What age till your pension maxes out?
I have to retire at 72. I can't.
Oh, there you go. See, that's longer than 67. What are you talking about?
No, I have to retire. I can claim my full pension at 65, and I'll have 40 years in my pension if I work till 65.
Whoa! Oh, okay. No. I'm sort of similar. I got a couple of years tacked on because I entered my field about the same age.
Yeah, I was 24.
In and out's current plan is 67. I'll get 100% pension.
Okay.
Of course, that's not always worth it, but yeah.
Yeah, I get the way it works. The way I have several pensions, but the way my main pension works is I get 100% based on the average salary of clergy the year I retire, also based on the number of years of service. It's really complicated, but it was developed by some pretty savvy people. So
mine's is the average 2 highest years of pay in my entire career, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is why that's why a lot of cops will either promote to like captain or lieutenant very last when they're old and decrepit. Just serve 2 years and then retire. Yeah, firefighters do the same thing. Or they will pull mad ass overtime the last 2 final years and then retire and then get that average as a pension. What about you, Jusane? What's your pension?
No, that's not going to happen.
I'm just going to die.
You never told us what you do.
Die.
What do you do, Jusane?
Not going to talk about it on the podcast.
We're just we're Magic. Yeah, my retirement is my Magic the Gathering collection. My Star Wars action figures.
I was thinking though, like, sorry, I know this is going back to Final Fantasy, but I'm like, it's really weird that a 20-year-old would be interested in Final Fantasy, because it seems like Final Fantasy kind of dropped a lot of attention at the time. I don't know.
That's my mentality. I'm sure 13 and 15 are hitting the weebs, right?
Yeah, my son
14 is grabbing a bunch of big dummies. I was on the fucking ranting hour yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And it was I was like,
right.
fucking FF14 fans are rabid. And then immediately after this show, I saw in the comments someone's like, we defend FF14 because it's always right. And I was like, all right, man, like, you know, but everyone who plays FF14 is stupid. I'm just gonna put it out there. You guys are fucking rabid ass zombie cultists. But go ahead, Juice.
Tekken, Jesus
Tekken,
Christ.
yeah, that's okay. So two of my kids are 10, 9, and 7. But my boys are love Final Fantasy, and they've never played a Final Fantasy game, but they know the characters just from popular. I mean, you think of people who play Smash on Nintendo or people who played Kingdom Hearts. I mean, they're there's a zeitgeist of the characters kind of in the culture, and so if they love Cloud and Sephiroth, and I mean.
Yeah, Retro's saying the same thing. Retro's saying my kids enjoy FF because I do, right? It's like sports, right? A lot of people grow up liking sports or liking a certain team because their family and their parents did. It's inherited, right? Right, Mark. Right.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I didn't inherit. I mean, my parents didn't play video games because they didn't exist for them. But
They didn't
I
exist?
started.
Your parents didn't exist?
Yeah, my parents did not exist at a point in time. No, video games did not exist when they were growing up. My parents are quite old. So, but yeah, I mean, my brother played. He didn't play. My parents are human. They both are alive. They are older, but my brother played video games. He didn't play Final Fantasy. I had a Nintendo. He didn't. I mean, we got the Nintendo. I guess he was still at the house. I was gonna say I think he had gone to college maybe. When we got my brother's quite a bit older than I am. So, but I started playing role-playing games because he played role-playing games, and Magic the Gathering because he played Magic the Gathering, and reading comic books because he read comic books. So, things like that. I played Final Fantasy because I had a Nintendo, and that was a game that you could buy on Nintendo.
It for me it was and I'm probably gonna wrap up myself, but pretty soon. But for me it was they did the thing that they wanted to do on Super Mario RPG, where they did the crossover, and there was the Kulix fight, and it had that super boss fight where it was playing the Final Fantasy IV music, and the boss theme, and I'm like, oh wow, that really sounds really cool. So I went on to the MIDI, MIDI, it's for back time, that time, for listening to FF4 music, and I'm like, oh man, that Fiend music is really really good. So yeah, that's how I got into it. I actually don't like Final Fantasy IV at all at this point, but 9 is my favorite. But yeah, it's the music really that got me into it, and I still think that the music for the most part is really really good, and I think that's for a lot of people. A lot of the reason that they stick around with this game is that you can hear the sick hot music.
Damn, Drew, saying you're old.
Well, I'm not as. I don't know your age, but I do know that Mark is older than I am.
I'm like 24.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't think that's true, but
I'm like 21. I've got a year on Amens, which is
you're
like
you're the same age. Mino's the same age as Josh, right?
Jesus.
Are you guys the same age?
I'm known as the TCC Kid. I'm going to change my name on Discord to that right now. I'm the youth representative here.
Yeah.
Also,
unless Black Nero or Necklord are talking. Yeah. I've never seen Mino and Josh in the same room. Have you?
I haven't.
We do the charity stream for fucking Shara's fucking 24-hour
okay.
charity
Never
stream
mind.
every year. Every year during that charity stream, you can hear me and Josh talk together at the same time.
Squeaks Mino. Yeah, hey chat, let's argue about which Final Fantasy is the best and who is wrong.
Yeah, who's wrong?
Who is wrong? Who is wrong? And why they're
it's stupid.
Yes, exactly. So not only why are you wrong because your favorite Final Fantasy is wrong, but why that makes you a bad person.
Yeah.
And CSDX got the right answer. It's Mystic Quest.
It is true. So I just did my free poll. I think that.
Oh, I never said. Oh crap. Yeah, I did it 40 tickets. So you got Porum?
I just did my free poll, and it looks like all my work has gone to fruition. I got it on the free poll.
Oh, nice.
This also means that since I did not poll for Cypher, and I do want to, for reasons that whatever, I do think that Lael's going to get better. I'm actually going to go right directly to the Cypher banner and pity that until I get Lael's burst. So that's the way I'm going.
Well, congratulations on that. Yes, I did get Porum. I had 17 subs.
Congratulations.
Soraya. It was
really quick.
it was 40 tickets. So I was 40 tickets in the 170. To be fair, I hardly pulled at all this month. This is probably the least number of pulls I've done in the LDBT era. I only pulled on 4 banners besides the free pulls.
That's a good point, Jake. That's a good point.
Yeah. And
I'll wait on that.
Yeah, that is good, Jake. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you're wait until Monday, if you can, because there's potential that if there is a global first, it could be on the Leo cycle. I would assume maybe it would be more likely on another one, but just you never know. And so
that's how it was with Kafka and Vivi. I remember that. So yeah, I'll wait. That's a good point. I didn't think about it.
I only pulled actual resources besides free pulls on 4 banners this month. 4 banners. That is the least number of banners I've pulled on since we started getting LDBTs. And I only expended 420 tickets. 420! Woohoo! And I got 2 BTs and 5 LDs. So good month.
Well,
good month.
Yeah.
Good month. No complaints. And I don't know, because I'm gonna cap on tickets again. So I don't know what the hell to do.
What the fuck is a Lael apologist, Amons? I hate all the Lael apologists and BC saying, what is a Lael apologist? Fucking
I don't know.
Speak up, Amons. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm gonna start heading out, but
it seems
Mino is really confused by me. So hey, if you ever want to just have like a little chat, we can chat. But seems like whatever. Like whenever I say something about like anything, you see like I'm really suspicious of Drusane. Or I get that impression sometimes, and I think it's funny. It's not. I'm not being like down on it, but it's like, well, what is it? It's like,
Yeah, no worries. Let's wrap up soon, Mark.
All right, yes.
Do you want to raid our good friend Broadway Saiyan or the less appreciated Bourgeois? Who should I raid before we call it?
Oh, can you do that? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Let's raid.
Good night,
40.
everyone.
Yeah. Good night, Drew. Let's raid 40. Yeah, that'd be great.
Drew. Always welcome.
So thanks everybody. Stick around and watch 40. Our good friend streaming. Mino, if you want to hit the raid button, that would be great.
Hey, let's hit it. Boom. Okay, should